Hey everybody, my name is Brian and I am bringing my very first installment of, I guess you could say, all things 80s. Okay, so I am going to contribute here periodically and highlight some things in my collection of the Weems Empire. So tonight I have an offering of, I guess you would call this a board game. It's called Grabbin Dragons. It was made by Hasbro Games, 1981. So I found this a few years ago in an old dark dingy thrift store. Probably just paid a few bucks for it. But it's a really cool game. So let me just break it down for just a minute here. Okay? So we have Delia. Okay? The pink. Okay, this is for the girls. We have Dudley, the orange dragon. And by the way, these things are still in really good shape to be as old as they are. We have Deerwood, the green one. And we have Daphne, the yellow one. So, if you notice from looking at this, it's kind of a little variation on the Hungry Hippos, so to speak. But the basic thing is, you have this tail that you pull, and their neck goes back and forth. And if you notice, you have a little hook right here, okay? So the object of the game is to set your dragons around the, I guess this would be the dungeon here, or the cave. And then you have matching rings, okay? And the object of the game is to put the rings on here. And you want to be, I don't know what that is, you want to be the first dragon to come in here and try to scoop up as many rings as you can and drop them in your tray right back here. All right? So, kind of a variation on Hungry Hippos, but I think this is a little cooler, okay? It's got dragons. So pretty cool game. Nobody in my family will play it with me. My wife has a reputation. My kids think they're just too cool. So maybe one day my granddaughter, when she gets a little bit older, she'll play this for me. Okay? So one of the things I always like when I collect stuff like this is the box art. The graphics on the box is just as cool as the game itself. Okay? So we got the old school Hasbro logo. We got a game for 2 to 4 players, ages 5 and up. Fits me just perfectly. Then we go on the back, and it's got just your rules and the layout of the game and your objectives, and had a pretty cool decal set, which, by the way, somebody did a good job putting these decals on. So Grabbin Dragons, Hasbro, 1981, is my offering tonight. So in the future, I will be bringing these a few times a month, and I will be highlighting a video game, or not a video game, a board game, or maybe a video game, or some type of toy, comic, maybe even some electronic gadgets from the 80s. I appreciate being able to contribute to this page, but I ask you also, if you're interested in stuff like this, to take a look at my page. It's called the Weems Empire of Comics and Toys on Facebook, and I also have a YouTube page called the Weems Empire that can connect you to my podcast, where we talk about a lot of things from the 70s, 80s, and 90s.